So we're back. This is the last one of this series about taxes. And my man over here, the king of dreams, Joseph, the CEO of, what's the name of your company?
Soleil Tacos.
Soleil Tacos. We talking about the beef that'll put you in the coma. This is some good stuff. It will send you directly to Cloud 9. You might be at the gates of heaven. You want to try them. You want to try that food out. Be a consistent customer. So you can find them on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at sola.tacos. Yeah, we're the only place selling A5 Wagyu beef on taco shells.
Oh, that sounds expensive.
Hey, 200 a pound.
200 a pound. They bringing the prime meat to your hands in the taco shell. I'm telling you, you guys have got to get this. But we're not going to sit here and talk about them delicious tacos that might have a little hint of I ain't gonna say, but they'll make you come back for more. But I'm just gonna turn it over to you. This is you, man. You finish us out on this one right here.
Okay, absolutely. It's my pleasure. Yeah, we're going to talk about something that, is both of our passions, especially mine. I love taxes and I also like thinking ahead and about the future. So this is about the new announcement that the IRS made, the new tax numbers for 2020. And as you all know, each year the IRS updates the existing tax code numbers for items which are indexed for inflation. This includes a tax table, many deduction limits, and exemption amounts. And what we're going to talk about is the numbers that are most impactful to taxpayers, which will be in effect beginning January 1st, 2020. Yeah, understanding your potential tax liability for next year will help you make decisions in 2020 to lower the taxes that you pay. And that's what we care about, is making sure that you avoid taxes, not evade them.
Yes.
And you can schedule a meeting with Wilson Financial, and they'll be able to help you avoid taxes, not evade them. And
gotta have that perfect 2020. You want to have that perfect vision,
yeah,
especially when it comes to taxes. You want to see things as clear as possible. As you can tell, when I take these off, I can't see too well. My eyes immediately start squinting. And I know the camera's right there, but as soon as I do this, my face is relaxed and we're ready to go. So you want to be relaxed and calm and at peace when you file in these taxes. So these codes, whatever they may be, we're about to learn about it right now.
Amen. So let's get started with this. Yeah, so the 2020 income tax brackets are probably the most important update for many Americans. It is the tax brackets themselves. The changes to the income ranges for the marginal tax rates. Each bracket, actually saw an increase in the range tied to inflation. So the IRS they're pretty fair. They understand that the cost of living will go up. So you know what they say? Well, we'll increase the income tax brackets so that we can account for that inflation. And you know what? We're actually going to provide images of the 2020 tax brackets, which you will use to calculate your taxes to be filed in 2021. And every tax bracket got a little bump up in size, allowing more of your money to be taxed at lower rates. And that's very, very beneficial. Yeah, for just clarity, one of the great things about that is, let me tell you what it is. So the first tax bracket is the 10% marginal rate. So the income range for that is 0 to $19,750 for married. And then for single taxpayers, it's a 10% marginal rate, and the income range for that is $0 to $9,875. And understanding these tax brackets will help you estimate your tax potential liability next year.
Well, that means students ain't paying no taxes. If they attach that 1098T to the form, that's pretty good.
Exactly.
It's only like $987.
Exactly. It's really, really good. Yeah, I'm glad that they're increasing it. And then armed with your estimated taxes, you then have until December 2020 to make charitable contributions to invest for retirement or to do other things which can help you manage and lower your tax liability. Also included in the actual income taxes you will owe based on your income level is included in the tables. And the table provides the two most common filing statuses, married filing jointly and single individuals. But for those who file either married filing separate or head of household, an abbreviated table is going to also be provided showing you the new tax brackets for those. And right now, the separate married filing separate tax table is the 10% 0 to 9,875, and head of household tax table is the 10% marginal tax rate 0 to 14,100. And I know this sounds just like a lot of numbers, but they're very important. Yeah, very important when you're just having a good time in 2020. You want to be aware of these taxes, especially when you're transitioning into different jobs. You want to understand how taxes will impact your new offers.
Or just the entrepreneurship itself, being self-employed.
Exactly, yeah. That's so true. If you're being self-employed, you want to make sure that you're aware of like your deductions and exemptions. In addition to these tax rates, the IRS actually upped many of the deductions and exemptions Americans use to lower their taxable income calculation and therefore their taxes. One standard deduction that was raised it's raised to $24,800 for married filing jointly, and for unmarried individuals it's now $12,400.
Wow.
Yeah.
And last year was only 12,000, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
So-
$400. That helps.
It really does. And then this standard deduction, like we mentioned in previous podcasts, is the amount that every taxpayer is allowed to take as a deduction from their income to reduce their taxable income. And like we also mentioned, you can beat it out by itemizing your deductions. And now the personal exemption is $0, one for each qualifying household member. The current tax code sets a $0 personal exemption amount for the purpose of calculating taxable income, effectively removing the personal exemption for tax filers. This is still used in other areas of the tax code for setting the gross income limitation for a qualifying relative.
So pretty much that ensures that many, well, I wouldn't say many, millions of Americans are just taking the standard deduction, reducing the ability to itemize.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. They're trying to simplify things. Yeah, but just as a brief overview, this is just kind of summarizing the most common things that taxpayers are going to use is the standard deduction versus the personal exemptions and itemizing deductions. Yeah, those are some of the major changes. I don't know if you wanted to add anything or had any questions about.
I guess I could be a little selfish because I'm a parent and a single father, and I just looked it up just now, and that's the earned income tax credit. There are different parameters that have changed, quite significantly. So me being head of household, having 3 kids all together, I added another one through engagement, so that was pretty awesome.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah. Not that there's the 3 kids. 3 kids is awesome, but there's more that I found someone,
Yeah.
that'd be right there with me every step of the way. So that's pretty cool. But if you have 3 kids, 1 child, 2 child, they did increase the earned income tax credit. So income at the max tax credit will be $7,030 if you have no kids. So the maximum credit you'll be able to earn is $538. But if you have 1 child, that increases by $3,000 just about to $3,584. And if you have 2 or more, then that's almost up to $7,000 at exactly $6,660.
Wow.
So that is a huge, huge credit that can really offset my taxable income. And I will be most definitely taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because they're already giving $2,000 per qualified child and is not adjusted for inflation. So that means it is locked and sealed at that. though they're raising, the tax tables, as you said,
Yeah.
the child tax credit is going to remain at the 2,000, which is, a pretty significant increase in what it was before, being capped at 1,000. So I think that is going to be beneficial. I can't wait to see what it'll look like when it comes 2021 and I gotta file my 2020 taxes. I'm looking for an increase.
Yeah.
I want my
That would be
cup to runneth over. Yes, indeed.
Maybe that's another thing people could do before 2020.
Yeah, if the Lord bless you with a child, then go ahead. It's gonna be life changing, but it does have its perks. There
Yeah.
are in some instances, there are necessary setbacks because you got to put your child before yourself now. So some things will have to be delayed or just put off altogether.
Yes.
But it is rewarding to see that you're able to teach, educate a smaller version of yourself,
Yeah.
and instill in them as much information as possible, so that way their future is brighter than yours.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the goal. Where I'm at now, I do not want any of my kids at, but someone else could be looking and be like, oh, that's where I want to be. No, you want to be above and beyond what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that they have a better start than I did. So yeah, pretty good.
That's
Just
awesome.
like having kids is going to be fun. A lot of baby making coming up this year. Oh, we shall see if that happens for me. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. 3's a lot. That sounds like completion to me. That's a nice little trinity there.
Man, I don't know. My wife wants 5.
5? You want the starting 5 basketball team? What? So yeah, that seems. I don't have any particular questions about the tax bracket. I think that was pretty good to increase it. I did see there's a grand scope of things. A lot of people were harboring over the tax code change and how it benefits one group over the other.
Yeah.
I would love to know your guys' thoughts on those things, because from my perspective, it seemed like everyone was affected.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things went down. Of course, the standard deduction was taken more because a lot of people weren't able to beat it. But on the back end, the alternative tax, the AMT, that overall went down. So there's a lot of things that went down and seemed like everyone benefited from it.
Yes.
I will go ahead and repost that because I did put it up on Facebook a while ago. We will repost that to try to get engagement from you guys to just have that conversation about taxes and who does it really benefit and what do we see moving forward as far as these new brackets, whether that's going to increase or decrease people's returns or their tax liability, things that they have to pay
Yeah.
back to the IRS. So yeah, it was a little hit. You did say they got rid of the personal exemption, which was like $40.50
Yeah.
per $4,050 per that you were able to claim on top of the standard deduction.
Yeah.
So I'm just interested in seeing how that's going to really affect people, because I know with me that really helped.
Yeah.
Being able to have that $9,350, I believe it is, being head of household, and then being able to claim another $8,100, that was huge.
I bet.
But on the other side, they increased it to $18,350, so that beats out the combination of those two.
Exactly.
So we'll see what happens. 2020, we want that to be a great year for each and every one of you guys. If you're scared, shaking in your boots because you have this passion, this drive, but you have some level of fear of going into entrepreneurship, starting your own business, trust and believe. It is not as bad as you think.
No.
As long as you have the faith in yourself and your abilities with everything that you've been blessed with. You put together a perfect team that'll be there to support you along the way, give you the proper advice, to guide you towards a level of prosperity, financial prosperity, financial freedom. That's where you want to be. You want to remove all types of debt, being able to open up doors so that way you can do exactly what you are called to do. And we are here to help every step of the way. He's got his taco thing going on, but if you got tax help, need tax help, he's a great person to go ahead and call. We're also here as well. We have tax people that'll be able to file your taxes for you. Anything that I do, I always keep in mind that taxes are on the way, so I budget effectively that way. I ensure that the reports that I produce for all of my business clients are ready and set to go, so that it's an easy translation or a simple conversion through QuickBooks that makes it easy for people to go ahead and file the taxes online individually, or you can do it with us. Whatever works for you, that's what you should do. But yeah, let's make 2020 great. Have clearer vision. I know it's gonna be great for me because I'm gonna be married. So it's gonna be exciting. It's a nice transition. It's pretty cool. Hopefully, you guys' 2020 is great. Keep the focus. Stay on the side of the light, none of the darkness. Do not evade, but avoid. Be methodical in everything that you do. Double check what we said. If you don't agree and you have an opposite thought process, drop the comments. Exactly. Send us an email, because regardless of the case may be, the fact that a conversation was started is perfect, because now people are engaged and they're going to research and try to trash everything we just said. Perfect. That's what we want. People to be aware and knowledgeable of this, because the only way you become aware and knowledgeable is by starting that conversation, and by doing that, trying to discredit or even add additional information that we may not have discussed today. Exactly. We're enhancing our financial literacy together. Exactly. So, and that's all I want to do is help lift. So thank you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
We might have to have them come back again, but it's up to you guys. So go ahead and join the Dub Club. That's on Patreon, low as $5 a month. Questions, any topics you want us to discuss, you want him to come back, no problem. We might even eat tacos next time. Because I need some. I need some now. Just like the commercial, I need my cash now. I need the Wagyu tacos now. So thank you guys for joining. Wilson Financial, mgmt.com. Just Wilson Financial, plain and simple. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can add the MGMT at the end of Wilson Financial for Facebook and for Instagram. We have the YouTube channel. We're on the Patreon. Merch is coming soon. Thank you for all the watchers and listeners. Enjoy your 2020.